President Trump brought Attorney General Pam Bondi along last night and gave her a thumbs up as he attended the FIFA Club World Cup final, even as some of his most fervent supporters are accusing her of a cover-up.
I don't think he realizes how much she's humiliated the administration. This is a self-inflicted wound. She caused it. Again, I have nothing against Pam Bondi, but if you want to look for the villain in this story, we have found her.
Over the weekend, Trump wrote that Bondi is doing a, quote, fantastic job, and told his supporters, "We're on Team MAGA, and I don't like what's happening." Some of Trump's supporters...
Let me back up for a second. I want to address this really quickly. Megyn Kelly has been going off the rails a lot lately, and I'm going to tell you what I think is really happening with Megyn Kelly, all right? I believe that Megyn Kelly is afraid to say what she really want to say because she don't want to get on Trump's bad side. And so what she's doing, her and several other people, because if you're going to say it, just say it with your chest. Pam Bondi is moving at the direction of her boss, which is the president of the United States of America. And this is why you have to be careful of people that are that don't have the ability to be objective 100%. Now, I stated what my position was on this whole situation, but Megyn Kelly don't really want to say what she want to say because I think that she's still trying to hold a position of power and trying to maintain some form because of all of the things that she said and done in the past. And so instead of her just saying, you know what, I don't agree with this and I do agree with that, she don't really want to say nothing to Trump. And so she's attacking everybody around it. Pam Bondi is doing exactly what Pam Bondi was hired to do. So Megyn Kelly is out here on these panels, on these platforms, saying a lot of wild stuff, but she don't really want to put her chest out there, but she want to pretend like she really holding people accountable. I don't see it.
And I have nothing against Pam Bondi, but if you want to look for the villain in this story, we have found her.
Over the weekend, Trump wrote that Bondi is doing a, quote, fantastic job, and told his supporters, "We're on Team MAGA, and I don't like what's happening." Some of Trump's supporters are blaming Bondi for the administration's decision not to release more information related to the investigation of Jeffrey Epstein, the accused sex trafficker who was found dead in his jail cell in an apparent suicide in 2019. Trump, like many other New York celebrities, had some association with Epstein. This video of Trump with Epstein is from 1992. When Epstein was arrested in 2019, Trump said they had previously had a falling out and had not spoken in 15 years. It was Attorney General Bondi who set expectations earlier this year that the DOJ and FBI files on Epstein would be released.
The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients? Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump.
But in a big reversal, the DOJ and FBI have now announced the end of their investigation, writing that a review found, quote, no incriminating client list and, quote, no credible evidence that Epstein blackmailed anyone, and confirming that he had died by suicide.
No matter what anybody tells me, nobody will ever convince me. And I'm going to be honest with you, I really don't even care about the client list. But if I'm just going to review this because this is a hot topic and people want me to talk about it, then I will tell you my honest to God thoughts. Nobody could ever convince me that he killed himself in jail. I don't believe it. You'll never convince me that Jeffrey Epstein killed himself in jail. Not going for it. Never going for it. Not going for it. So I don't know what parts are cover-ups and I don't know what parts aren't. You could make the argument and say, well, why would Trump make that directive to say that, to go through it and review it if it was something that was incriminating? Is it a possibility that there's some very, very powerful people that said, listen, man, put this to rest. We don't really want to talk about it no more. I know that y'all said that y'all was going to investigate and release some names or whatever, but we want y'all to make this to go away. Yeah, it's a strong possibility. You can't just put this over Trump's head either. Because Jeffrey Epstein, let me look at the year that he died. I want to be 100% correct. Give me a second. Let me make sure. Jeffrey Epstein died in 2019, August 10th, 2019. Okay. The Biden administration, if it was a list, then how come it wasn't discussed? How come the FBI didn't release it? How come it wasn't something that was available during the Biden administration? Nobody held Joe Biden accountable. Nobody held the FBI at the time accountable. Nobody held liberal Democrats accountable for anything with regard to Jeffrey Epstein as far as releasing information and making it available to the general public. The only reason, and this is one of the reasons why you have to be careful what you say and set expectations, the only reason people are going at Pam Bondi is because Pam Bondi made an announcement when she became and put into the position that she was put in, that she is sitting on her desk and that she would investigate it and that she would release if any information was found to the general public. Nobody held Biden accountable as a result of it. Nobody ever mentioned anything to them. Nobody said that he should do anything, and they didn't create any expectation as a result of it. It just was gone. But the minute that Pam Bondi made the announcement that she would review it, and then if anything was found, then she would release it to the general public. Now that she's saying that nothing was found, there's nothing else to talk about, now people are mad at her and saying that she should resign as a result of it. I don't think that she should resign. I think that she's doing a great job, and I think that she should continue to do what she's doing.
As for that so-called client list,
I was asked a question about the client list, and my response was, it's sitting on my desk to be reviewed, meaning the file along with the JFK, MLK files as well. That's what I meant by that.
for years, many Trump allies, including his now FBI Director Kash Patel, pushed for the release of the government files on the Epstein case, insisting they would implicate prominent Americans in a sinister plot. Here's what MAGA star Dan Bongino, now the Deputy FBI Director, said in 2019.
The questions surrounding this alleged suicide are numerous and are worth entertaining and worth getting to the bottom of quickly.
According to multiple sources, Bongino had a heated argument with Bondi at the White House last week and has told friends he may resign. Last night, Trump said he thinks Bongino is still on the job.
Is Dan Bongino still your Deputy FBI Director? Have you spoken to him?
I think so. I did. I spoke to him today. Dan Bongino, very good guy. I've known him a long time. I've done his show many, many times. And he sounded terrific, actually. No, I think he's in good shape.
In his Truth Social post expressing support for Pam Bondi, Trump said that people should not waste time and energy talking about Jeffrey Epstein. But George, judging from the response to that post, it appears that many of his own supporters are not ready to take that advice.
Yeah.
And now to another big story. The president is defending U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi. Her and FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino are reportedly at odds over the handling of the Jeffrey Epstein files.
Chanley Painter joining us now with the details on that story. Hey, Chanley.
Hey, Kevin, Rachel, and Charlie. So the president is stepping in to defend his Attorney General Pam Bondi as doing, quote, a fantastic job after she came under fire from some Trump supporters over the Department of Justice's handling of the Jeffrey Epstein files. The president posting this in part, quote, "1 year ago, our country was dead. Now it's the hottest country anywhere in the world. Let's keep it that way and not waste time and energy on Jeffrey Epstein, somebody that nobody cares about." The president's post coming after some Trump supporters criticized Bondi or even called for her resignation after the DOJ and the FBI on Sunday released a joint two-page statement on the Epstein case that concluded there was no celebrity client list, naming those who allegedly took part in Epstein's history as a sexual predator. In February, though, Bondi had indicated that such a document was sitting on her desk. The DOJ also concluded that Epstein did commit suicide in his New York City jail cell in 2019.
She never said that
while
the
awaiting
document was
further
sitting on her
sex
desk. She said
trafficking
the file was
charges.
on
Yet
her desk.
a missing minute in the jail video that was released has only spurred conspiracy theorists. FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino reportedly clashed with Bondi over her handling of the Epstein matter last week and has told confidants that he may actually resign if Bondi remains in her post. Guys, we shall see.
Thank you, Chanley.
Thanks, Chanley.
You know, obviously there are lots and lots of questions that have been swirling about Jeffrey Epstein for a long time, for over 10 years, and the government's involvement in it. If there's anybody who could walk in and say, okay, we've resolved all of the questions and there is nothing here, it would be President Trump and his crew. The problem is you can't really do it without giving some explanation, and there has to be some explanation, and I think that's why you have a lot of people still pretty with a lot of very valid questions about it.
You absolutely nailed it. You can defuse this ticking time bomb if you simply get out there, sit down, the AG, get the deputy director, and get the director himself. Put them in front of cameras, have them make a statement, and have them answer questions.
It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. Do I believe that Trump is in the files? I absolutely do not believe that Trump is in the files, because I believe that the first thing that Democrats would want to do is they would want to make sure that they release those files. If there was anybody that they really wanted to go at, if we've learned anything during Biden's administration, we've learned that they really, really, really wanted Trump. They did not want him to win this presidency. They did not want him to be in power. They did not, in every way, shape, or form. They filed lawsuits to get him in New York. They filed charges against him in Fulton County, Georgia. They filed against him in Florida. They tried to prevent him from getting on the ballot. They tried to say that he was a felon. They tried to make sure that they threw him under the bus. They tried to sue him and take all of his money. And that's why we call him the Teflon Don, right? The one thing that we know for sure, is if Trump was anywhere in any Jeffrey Epstein thing, that they 100% would have came at him and made sure that he was exposed as a result of it. Maybe that might have been the nail in the coffin as far as preventing Trump from seizing power. All right. We know that for a fact. Here's the other side of that whole conversation and to this conversation. And this is just me being objective and giving my honest to God thoughts, regardless of whether you agree with it or not. This is what I truly believe. I believe that there are way more powerful people and way bigger fish to fry is one of the reasons why this thing is never, ever going to come and see the day of light. Ever. 100%. I believe that there is way bigger people on both sides. And I don't even think it's just got anything to do with political people. I think that it has different, things to do with big people, big dogs, maybe business leaders, maybe even former presidents. Who knows? Y'all thinking small. Y'all thinking super duper small. Y'all thinking like babies. Fam, if I am trying to figure out what's going on, the last thing that I think, listen, I don't think it has anything to do with him. I think that it's way bigger people, much, much bigger people. People that may even not be in the United States of America. People that may not even be in the United States of America. I believe that the latter. Do I think that he had a huge client list? I don't know if he probably had an actual list itself written out. I think he would likely be smarter than that. But let's say hypothetically that he did or he didn't, whatever. Whether he had a client list or not, do I believe that there are some really, really, really big people that we probably don't even know behind the scenes that was participating? 100%. Do I believe that he killed himself in jail? I do not believe he killed himself in jail. At all. Not even a little bit. And do I think that it is preventing of this list from coming out? 100%. Do I think that Trump is on it? Nope. And then the last thing, do I care? I genuinely don't. I don't care, not even a little bit. So, there you go. I seen a video of something where, I don't know if it was AI or not. It couldn't have been AI. Where Bill Gates' wife did an interview where she said the last straw was, did y'all see that? Was that real? Linda Gates. where she said the last straw was Jeffrey Epstein. Do y'all remember that? Y'all don't ever remember that? She did a interview with Gayle King or something like that. Am I alone here? Let me see something. That was like 3 years ago. Let me see something if I could pull that up.
It's not one thing, it was many things. But I did not like that he'd had meetings with Jeffrey Epstein. He was evil personified. I had nightmares about it afterwards.
Melinda French Gates opens up following her and Bill's divorce and the role Jeffrey Epstein played in their split. The power couple revealed last year that they ended their 27-year marriage.
Any of the questions remaining about what Bill's relationship there was, those are for Bill to answer.
So I think it's way bigger. Way bigger. Way bigger than what we want to just have a conversation about. I think we limited. I think we small. We think it's small. We need to think way bigger. Way bigger. But see, we got short memories, so we don't talk about that. We don't have those type of conversations. We don't think about that. We don't add that into the conversation. We only want to keep talking about Pam Bondi. I think y'all thinking short-sighted. Very short-sighted about this whole situation.